You didn't try. But because there was once a young woman who lived in a small village at the edge of a forest. She spent her days weaving cloth and her evenings watching the sky change colors. Life moved slowly there, and most people were content with what they had. But this woman felt different. She wanted to build something with her hands that would last beyond her lifetime. One morning, she decided she would create a garden unlike any the village had ever seen. Not just flowers and vegetables, but a place where rare plants could thrive, where people could walk and feel peace settle into their bones. She had been collecting seeds for months, learning about soil and seasons, dreaming about pathways and benches carved from fallen wood. She was excited. The dream felt like a fire inside her chest, warm and bright. So she did what many of us do when something fills us with hope. She told people about it. At the market, she mentioned her plan to a neighbor. The woman frowned and said, "A garden? We already have gardens. Why waste your time?" The young woman's excitement dimmed slightly, but she pushed the comment aside. Perhaps the neighbor simply didn't understand her vision. That afternoon she shared her idea with a friend. The friend laughed and said, You don't know the first thing about rare plants. They'll all die, and you'll have nothing to show for it." The warmth in her chest grew a little cooler. By evening, she told 3 more people. Each one had something discouraging to say. One called it impractical, another said she was being foolish. A third simply shrugged and walked away as if the dream wasn't even worth discussing. The young woman went home feeling heavy. The fire that had burned so brightly that morning was now merely a flicker. She sat by her window and wondered if everyone was right. Maybe she was foolish. Maybe she should just keep weaving cloth and watching sunsets. The next day, she walked into the forest to clear her head. Deep among the trees, she found an old woman sitting on a stone, shelling nuts into a wooden bowl. The young woman had seen her before but had never spoken to her. "You look troubled," the old woman said without looking up. The young woman hesitated, then sat beside her. "I had a dream," she said quietly, "but I told people about it, and now it feels like it's dying." The old woman nodded slowly. "Show me your hands." Company. Confused, the young woman held them out. The old woman examined them carefully and said, "Strong hands. Hands that can build. But tell me, when you plant a seed, do you dig it up every day to show your neighbors?" "No," the young woman replied. "That would kill it." "Exactly." The old woman returned to her nuts. "Some things need darkness and silence to grow roots. Dreams are like that. When they're new, they're fragile. Every word of doubt is like a foot stepping on fresh soil, crushing what's trying to grow beneath." The young woman felt something shift inside her. "So I shouldn't have told anyone?" The old woman smiled. "Not yet. Not when the dream was still forming. Most people don't mean to hurt you, but they carry their own failed dreams and fears. When you share something new and tender, their fears speak louder than their love for you. Then what should I do?" The old woman handed her a small bag of shelled nuts. "Protect your dream the way you protect a seedling. Keep it close. Work on it quietly. Let it grow, strong in the darkness of your own dedication. When it has roots deep enough that nothing can pull them out, then bring it into the light. Then people's woes, your RDs won't matter, because the dream will be real enough to speak for itself." The young woman walked home with those words settling into her heart. She didn't tell anyone else about her garden. Instead, the work began. In early mornings before the village woke, she prepared the soil, planted seeds, watered them with patience, and learned from every failure. Weeks passed, then months. Sometimes she wanted to show someone the first green shoots pushing through the earth, but she remembered the old woman's words and kept working in silence. A low fence took shape, then a stone path. Then flowers bloomed in colors the village had never seen. Nearly a year later, a neighbor stopped and stared. "What is this?" The young woman looked up. The garden was still small, but undeniably alive. "It's a garden," she said simply. The neighbor stepped closer and touched a flower petal. "It's beautiful," she whispered. "How long have you been working on this?" "Almost a year." The neighbor looked at her with new respect. "You should tell people about this." The young woman smiled but said nothing. She didn't need to tell people anymore. The garden was telling them itself. More Two neighbors came. Some offered compliments. Some offered help. A few admitted they had always wanted to create something similar but had never tried. Now that the dream existed, their doubts couldn't touch it. The dream had become real, and reality doesn't need permission. Years passed. The garden grew larger and more beautiful. People traveled from distant villages to walk its paths and sit on its benches. The young woman became known for her skill and began teaching others to create their own gardens. But she never forgot the lesson of silence. Whenever someone came to her with a bright new idea, she asked one question: "Who have you told?" If they had already told many people and looked discouraged, she would say gently, "Then stop telling. Start doing. Come back when you have something to show, not just something to say." If they hadn't told anyone yet, she would smile and say, "Good. Keep it that way for now. Let your hands speak before your mouth does." She had learned that dreams are like flames in the wind. When they are new, even a small breeze can extinguish them. But if you protect that flame, feed it carefully, and shield it long enough, it becomes a fire no wind can blow out. Tomorrow morning, think of one thing you want to create or change in your life. Don't announce it. Don't post about it. Don't tell anyone. Write it down somewhere private. Then take one small action toward it before the day ends. Do this for 30 days. Watch how differently your dream grows when it is sheltered from casual opinions. Watch how much stronger you become when you stop seeking permission and start building proof.